What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle from the Crib, Nadeska, Academics, and Wayno here. Definitely feels like a Monday for me today, like a Monday. How you guys feeling?
I feel like it's a Monday too. I kind of struggled to get out of bed this morning. I was a little bit tired, but we here. We got still a lot to talk about, right, Academics?
I hopped out of bed straight away. I couldn't wait to get here. I had a great weekend.
I'm surprised you even went to sleep after getting pregnant on stream with Drake this weekend.
Woo!
Pause now. Listen, it was a good time. Do you want to get into it now? We can just get into the elephant in the room now. We can wait till we just roll into the topic. What do you want to do?
Academics is a good youth and he know it, so.
All right. Hey, wait. Before Act starts, we're going to talk about this Drake mixtape, but we just take a look at Act literally getting pregnant on live stream with Drake this weekend.
Yo, Academics, you're allowed on the live tonight, man. We had a good talk the other day, man. You're allowed on the live tonight. On this one way. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I broke my chair! Let's go! Let's go! Let's fucking go! I told you niggas! I told you! We!
Oh my God, the hate, Nadeska. This is why you don't like you.
I don't give a fuck. I have no problems with Drake. I'm not hating. It was just really funny, Academics. Come on, you gotta admit it. I love that you're such a passionate fan, though. I did laugh watching this shit.
I'm absolutely passionate about hip hop. I understand some people could take that the wrong way or actually not get it at all because, it's very rare that people actually get paid to do what they fucking live, eat, breathe, and shit. You feel me? Anyway, I will say, the fanning out moment to Drake was not because Drake gave me a shout out. I just have to clarify and reiterate. No, it was not. So, it was because he shouted out my audience. Me and him have always talked privately, and I say that publicly. So I'm not fanning out every time I talk to him. But I do believe that the reason I'm even in a position where Drake acknowledges me is the help of my audience, my chat niggas, and so of course I had to get that moment for them. I was on stream once he did it, I was a little bit overwhelmed. Okay,
hey, listen,
I'm not, Lord, my bad.
Salute to all the chat niggas. I just noticed that there's a pattern. You know what I mean? Like it's just a pattern when it comes to academics.
What's the pattern?
No, it's just like
I want to hear the pattern.
No, Drake excites you. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like he excites you. That's all. You know what I mean?
I mean, Drake is a top artist in the game, and listen, a Drake feature ain't like a regular feature, and a Drake shout out ain't like a regular shout out.
Shout out to the chat.
So good.
Yeah, no,
it definitely made for a good moment. It was hilarious.
All those moments happened. I knew it was gonna be a day when I was hearing rumbles during the day. There was new Drake album coming. I'm like, wait. I hit him. He says, "Yo, look alive, nigga."
He told you to look alive.
He didn't give me no heads up. Nah. Yeah. Anyway, by the time he announced it 10 minutes later, because I guess people were all probably hitting him. Anyway, once that happened, I knew it was gonna be a day for me. I was on one the whole day. Yeah. Excited about music, passionate. I'm sorry, man. I wear my heart on my sleeves. I'm sorry.
Nah, sorry. Jokes aside, it's nice to see you this excited. I know how much of a fan that you are. And shout out to the chat. The only reason I knew that this was actually happening, because of course I wasn't tuned in live, they started hitting me on Instagram go help Academics. He drank too much and he get passed out on the live stream again.
No. I actually took an extended blink at the end. But before that, we're having good times, man. We're having good times.
Okay, man. So look, all this excitement is because Drake dropped that surprise tape this Friday, Dark Lane demo tape. So this is leading up to album number 6, which he says is coming this summer. 14 songs on this one. We've heard some of them leaked, some of them dropped before. A lot of features on here, people like Playboy Cardi, Future, Chris Brown, Fabio Foreign, Young Thug, and more. So what do you guys think about this as the teaser for the big album coming this summer? Well, let's let Wayno go first because we know how Academics feels.
All right, so honestly, listening to this whole shit, because it's the leaks put together, but listening to it compiled, that nigga stepped his rapping game up. I can't front. Yeah, that nigga stepped his rapping game up, and what the shit that's making me realize that is, you usually get the most attention for your whatever your single is. You know what I mean? Whatever the single is the thing that gets people most riled up. For me, it was Losses. And Losses is just a cut. It probably won't never get a video for it or nothing. But the nigga was saying some shit in there, and I'm like, damn. I relate to this nigga a little bit more than I thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to admit it. I mean, I, honestly, I could have kind of did without the joints with Thugger and the joints with like, and I'm happy that he threw 5 Year Foreign on there because that's big for New York, that's big for Brooklyn, that's big for the whole drill movement. Him and Sosa Geek, like that's great for them. But like me listening, I just liked all the rapping, and it was only like how many singing joints on there is there? I guess only like one, right? It's like 1.5 really. He's not doing too much singing on there.
I mean, he's singing on my favorite joint on there.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
But, he is singing a little bit.
he's singing a little bit, but it's not as much. But
It's not complete R&B.
right. It's not complete R&B, but another thing that I noticed is a lot of new flows. You know what I mean? Like the nigga came with a lot of new flows. Aside from like the not the war joints, it's the plug the plug shit from Florida. I can't remember the exact name of it, but the from Florida joint that like he What I noticed
Florida with Love.
We're from Florida with Love. Yeah, what I just noticed about him is that the nigga tapped in on a whole new level when it comes to spitting. You know what I mean? When it comes to spitting, I think like for those a lot of the times that everybody's critical of him doing the singing shit, i.e. myself, I think that the nigga just stepped it up to kind of, you know, and I think he does that consistently. Like he really stepped it up on the lyrical side. So I was happy with this.
Ak, what do you think of the unreleased songs, like things you were hearing for the first time, and you know why he felt like it was a move to drop this now if the album's gonna come in a few months?
How much time do we have?
Take your time. We're here.
No. Well, all right. Let me start off by saying this. You know, because again, I said this came out of the blue, and if you watch my little quote unquote, as the internet's termed it, fan moment with Drake as we were on IG Live, he had told me, he was like, "Yo, listen," because I kept hitting him about leaks to say, "Yo, this is fire, bro. Like this is the album." And he would be like, "Nah, this is old." Whether it was Moods, a song with him and Future, or even the Desire song, he was like, "Yo, we did this a while ago. This is not what I have in mind for the album." Because a lot of fans were, I don't know what's been going on in the OVO camp. Usually nothing leaks, but there's been more than enough leaks recently. And we know he's been in the studio for a while. His last album came out 2018, but still, you know, he keeps the scene populated with music. But there's been a lot of leaks. Mm-hmm. So I always hit him. I'm like, "Yo, what's up with these leaks?" He's like, "Man, this ain't what I'm going to put out for my 6th LP. So he even hit me one time like, "Yo, don't have people gauge me off that. Like let people know that's just a leak." And I think he was trying to find a home for them, because when you think about songs like War, which, you know, of course wasn't leaked, he put out, but I think, you know, him like any, like, it's like a basketball player, you know, like he has a game where he might go to Rucker Park and like drop 30. It's like a mixtape, you feel me? And he wants to put that out, might not have a home on his album. I think this tape that's what it is. So when Wayno says there's a lot more rapping and singing, I don't think that's by design. I think it just happens to be that way. I think, you know, a lot of the joints that he was kind of like fucking with, and I think all these joints are B-side joints. He was like, "Yo, let me just compile them," and they happen to be more rapping and singing. If you listen to his albums primarily, there is about either 50-50 or probably even you would say 60-40 singing when it comes singing as opposed to rapping. Mm-hmm. Wayno would appreciate something like this because you see more of a lyrical exhibition. I don't think he stepped up at all his lyricism. What I did think, and this is my biggest overall takeaway, if y'all want the little sum up point, the biggest takeaway from this whole album is this: Scorpion so we had Scorpion, then before Scorpion it was Views, and then right before Views it was More Life, correct? I think I got my order.
More Life is after Views.
More Life is after Views? You sure?
Yeah. Oh. More Life is Views, then is More Life is after Views. Yeah, More Life is definitely after Views. More Life was, Views was 2016. More Life was 2017.
Yeah, More Life was March 2017.
Okay, and Views was okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm really leading up to basically around 2014 and 2015 on, from when he did the joint with Future, What a Time to Be Alive, and of course, if you're reading this too late, was then. After then, we saw Drake constantly being embroiled in beef. And let me tell you this, from a fan who, you know, I look forward to Views. I still personally think Views is better than More Life. That's been a heavy debate. But as a fan of Drake, Take Care, and I've thought that's like the new modern classic, where you could balance singing and rapping and also, you know, even subject matter where it's emotional. I've wanted him to attain that again. So when he starts getting into this beefing and shit like that, now he's more aggressive. And if you listen to all those projects that started from 2015, that's when him and Meek started going at it. It's a lot of aggressive talk, even with the Kanye joint. Scorpion literally is the response album, like, fuck you, Kanye, this, that, and third. Again, you lose that vulnerability, and then also there's certain songs that's just glorifying just his riches. We get it. He's the biggest, best in the game.
It's definitely Take Care rapping on there, though, Act. It's definitely Take Care rapping on that.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. This album, or not album, this demo tape told me he's within the mind frame of not focusing on issues he has, but he's in a place where he could tap into those vulnerabilities that got me interested in him as a fan. You get me? Joints like Losses, shit, I hit him. I was like, yo, Losses should be on the album. You know what?
Losses is crazy.
That shows that vulnerable side. Like, it's cool. We don't hear about your $80 million mansion. We don't hear, you know what I mean? That, like, even though, again, that's a Demon's joint. Bank account on Kylie, great. We know you the richest. We know you the best. We know everything. How could you still be vulnerable, and what else type of content? Because after a while, certain rappers seem to run out of content and they just start swag rapping. And that usually is lazy to me. And it tells me for the 6th album, he's kind of tapping back into it. He did tell me one thing, and this is the last thing before, this is a rapper point. 2 months ago, or 2 to 3 months ago, which I know he doesn't mind me sharing now, when he was talking about his discography, he felt that Nothing Was the Same was
the best,
supposed to be a perfect album. It was his favorite. And he said it was concise enough, but it was a perfect mix, and also the concepts that he was talking about was very true to self. And I asked him, I was like, yo, is it possible that you could still do that in what is it at this point? Like, it's almost year, like, 13, right? And he's like, that's the space he's in. So if this is to give me any type of hope, it gets me more excited for the album. Overall, I think this is a pretty good effort. We heard most of the leaks already. Again, I could do without, like, Pain, but joints like Losses, of course, like even the one with Fabio Foreign, Finally Getting War, and a couple others, I was really pleased. So
I feel you. I tell you what else he stepped up. That nigga stepped up his sub. This is crazy because he stepped up his sub.
On that.
So, like, rappers I threw an alley-oop to, like, you know what I mean? Like, he says so much shit that, like, he don't have to say a name. He don't have to point exactly who it is. But if you was a person that if you an artist that came into contact with Drake in the past couple years and you started acting funny towards him, you could tell that shit, like that he's going to probably shit on you in this next album because he's alluding to mad little shit. Like, he's that's one thing I noticed. Like, even with the
he's kind of always done that though. Like,
I mean, he's always done it.
Back to 5 a.m. In Toronto, I could load every rapper's gun with bullets, fire backwards, and still nobody will pull the trigger. Like, you know what it is.
Even though When to Say When, he said some shit on there about how niggas, like, you know, they get popping and then they shit on their management and all of that, and like, you see where they blessings go after that. Like, it's a lot of shit that he throwing in there that is like, okay, he's paying attention to what niggas is doing.
Was that little Facts and Act shout out? I thought it was.
Huh?
He does that Facts. I forgot what song it was. It sounds like you when you do your videos. I thought that was an Act shout out.
Facts. Yeah, I heard that too.
Hey man, come on, man. Hey, all I'm saying is I thought it was, you know, pretty good. I'm not coming on here to call it classic. Some joints I could have done without, but you have to gauge expectations when someone's compiling a bunch of leaks and probably giving you some joints that happen to not make the album cut. You know, I think it's definitely appreciated. Yeah. And once again, I'm gonna keep saying, all these other rappers we keep comparing them to, they're load managing and they're quiet as a motherfucker.
Load managing.
At this point, I want to go really toe to toe with Wayne on a point of who is fucking with him, but we can say
man, you know who I think is fucking with him, but he's quiet right now, so my argument is limited. You know who I think will fuck with you.
All right, you at least keep it honest.
Yeah, I mean, I need ammo to argue. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you give me no ammo,
wait till we get the album. But look, we always appreciate a Drake project. No one's ever going to be mad at that. I do have a fan question about the leaks real quick. I know y'all are going to talk about the new Drake mixtape full of leaks on Monday. So here's an interesting take I have. More artists should package their leaks and put them on major streaming platforms while we're in quarantine. What do you think?
No. I don't. I think I don't think everybody should do that. I think like of course he's projected to go really high. I think that's the shit that Drake is capable of. I think though there's only a handful of artists that could maybe pull that off, but you don't really want to see that. I feel like another artist that if they was ever to pull all their leaks together, and I know this because I follow all the chat niggas, would be Playboy Cardi. You know what I mean? But other than that, there's not really a lot of artists who people get excited for many of their leaks. So I would say no.
I would also say like Meek, but Meek hasn't really previewed or had any like leaks recently. I would say like this leak previewing thing. Let's be very clear, and that's the reason why like I'll be very surprised if anyone who's reviewing Drake's album today or Drake's like demo tape, whatever he wants to call it, just trashes it. Because like the thing with leaks and previewing the music, you get instant feedback, and it's like creating anticipation when people already kind of heard like 30 seconds of the song. Right. Like that's the reason why people know what they're gonna like and what they're not gonna like. You have to go really hard to disappoint people on when they heard already. Like sometimes these songs are short, so you heard like a quarter of the song already through a leak. So.
Yo, Ike, you mentioned More Life a few minutes ago, and I'm curious for both of you, how do you feel about it a few years later? I feel like people had very extreme mixed reactions to the project. They either enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was kind of fun. A lot of people hated on it because he called it the playlist, a compilation, whatever. So what do you guys think a few years later?
More Life to me, More Life is good, but like a lot of people compare More Life to Views, and when I like first time listening to Views, I liked it, but it grew on me. Like that shit grew on me as a better album. Like the next year later, I don't think More Life to me is what it is. It's like more. Anytime I think of More Life, it's like Free Smoking KMT. Like what I mean. Like there's a lot of moments on there, but it doesn't hit me the same way Views hit me.
Yeah, some of those joints are just like fun. Like I have them on a lot of playlists. I wouldn't even think to compare that project to Views because they're so different to me.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 projects that stand out in Drake's discography that like, we're used to cohesive, like thematic, like wrap up of like the last 18 months of your life type albums from him. Like whether it was Take Care, whether it was Nothing Was the Same, shit, even Views we looked at as, that's what we're gonna get. And definitely Scorpion with him having a child. But when you think about like, if you're reading this too late, if you think about More Life and even this demo tape, I think this demo tape is probably going to be received the best because if you follow Drake's albums, he don't really feature certain niggas on it. Like he'll be featured on a mumble rap nigga like song, but he don't put that nigga on his tape, like on his real album. Let's be honest, right? Certain songs are only features he never like has on his. He has a sound that he keeps to. That's the only time he strays away from that sound. Also incorporates other people and gives them a platform beyond like where beyond the audience that those people even speak to. So you know what I mean? Like I think they have mixed reactions because even though he's trying to call it a million different things, one was like a mixtape, the other one was a playlist. Now this is a demo tape. Everyone looks at it like, okay, this is your next joint. You feel me? And I do think as an artist, it's a different type of expression. I think Wayne, he didn't try to be as clever with words with it, but I think that's what it meant to me when Wayne had the Carter series. That to me, that's his real album series. Like I Am Not a Human Being or Rebirth, like I don't really look at those as like
nobody even remembers
albums,
like
but
that.
They are listed as albums. And when you're arguing with fans, they might throw that in there. So I think that's why Drake gets clever.
I don't care what nobody say. If you're reading this, it's too late. It's an album and it's a great album. So like I always
slaps.
That's that shit is a great album, bro. Like
it slaps.
That shit is a great album.
Ike, you want to take us through some numbers real quick?
Absolutely. So, of course,
catch your breath, man. Catch your breath.
Yo, I can't wait till Drake drops the album. I'll be on the internet all weekend just watching academics.
I'll be live on Twitch right there watching. I'm gonna do my reaction to
should we live
when the album comes.
Yo, can we join you on Twitch?
No.
Officially?
I'm hiring the paramedics to come here. I'm serious. I need some handlers. I need to make sure everything, because I am going to be able to. Anyway, let's get to the numbers, okay? The thing I really care about. In terms of projections, Drake is actually battling for his demo tape to debut #1 next week with country singer Kenny Chesney, who also dropped the project. If you don't know, he's actually a really high-selling country artist. And Drake's project is actually scheduled to sell between 230 to 255,000 first week. The country artist is actually scheduled to sell a little bit less, but you never know. I'm hearing buying albums, all type of stuff. So, stream Drake album. Anyway, also this week's on Billboard Hot 100, but the top 200 chart. NBA YoungBoy actually came in at number 1 with 73,000. I gave my review of it last week. If you guys didn't check that, make sure you watch the episode. But also the Baby, Blame It on Baby. On his second week, he actually slid to, or actually his third week to be honest, he slid to 52,000. The Weeknd was at number 3 with 48,000. And Uzi Eternal Take is actually still top 5. It was number 4 with 48,000. And Lil Baby, who also dropped a deluxe album this week, his album My Turn slid to number 5 at 42,000. By the way, I heard some rumors, man. Like, listen, no one knew Drake's album was gonna drop. Everyone expected the Baby with his deluxe to take number 1 next week, but clearly that's out of the conversation after Drake dropped his project. So interesting day in the numbers, man. Also, Tootsie Slide might go back up to number 1. Also, salute to Meg Thee Stallion. Her joint was a Savage, is doing great. And Nicki Minaj hopped on Doja Cat's Say So remix, which people thought it was going to be an all-women competition for number 1, man, but Drake fucked it up.
Hey, man, Megan Thee Stallion got Beyonce on the record, bro.
I know, and we haven't talked about it, and Ak has very specifically said he's been waiting and waiting and waiting for her to have that one hit. So, Academics, what do you have to say now?
No, I think she does. I think she does. I think the moments of skepticism with me with Meg is almost over. I was just trying to tell people to calm down because sometimes people look
down. You're telling people to not be excited about music. Ak, what gives you the right?
Not right now.
No, Ak, what gives you the right? Like, come on, man.
Okay.
You broke your chair. You fell out. Now nobody could be excited about Beyonce and Meg. We couldn't be excited about.
No, this you should be excited about.
Okay.
No, my only thing with Meg, I thought they were trying to put her on a level early in her career, like the first couple of months, without really seeing the numbers there. She sold like 27,000 first week, not with this project, but the project before. And I was like, listen, the social media fanfare doesn't match the music stuff yet. I think that's about to change very quickly. Salute to Meg Thee Stallion, salute to Beyonce, and also, good luck to her on her legal battles with Cole Crawford.
A former hater becomes a fan. Before
hater? Yo, listen,
a hater.
If a nigga was selling 10,000 records, right, but being talked about every single place in the world, you'd be like, man.
Yo, we know you hate the hype. We know you hate the hype.
That's called potential. That's what we call potential. That's when you see somebody say, yo, they're gonna be something. Oh, hold up, man, this nigga just started. Like, okay, it's called potential.
No, you know what that's called? That's called the barbs. Okay, talk a lot of shit online, hype it up, but don't buy a motherfucking record. Support the music if you like the artist. Okay, you follow their lifestyle, whatever, just support the music.
Well, the Stallions are supporters, so let's see how that goes.
Clearly.
All right, so your last thing before we go, we've been talking a lot about rappers trying to make money during this pandemic. I don't know if you guys caught Tory Lanez on his YouTube live concert this weekend, which was pretty dope. And now Facebook is also allowing entertainers to monetize their live streams. So it's happening. The checks are coming.
Yeah. Hey, Academics, you remember when I was telling you about my man that was direct to consumer selling his album, right? And not that anybody took that pattern from him, but like it goes to show you, like, with this streaming era, sometimes you got to go directly to your fan base. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, okay, we have the content, but we're gonna let you give them as much money as you want to give them. So I think this is gonna be an even bigger trend over the next couple of months, because I don't know if 2020 is gonna be back to normal anytime soon.
Yeah. Shoot. Like, I heard a little rumor supposedly floating around the industry that pretty much like Live Nation and everybody else, in terms of big concerts returning, they're almost waiting on like the government, but allegedly Trump has scheduled like a campaign rally for 20,000 people not giving a fuck about the coronavirus, which I think companies at that point, if that happens, will say, well, if Trump could do it, we could have a concert. Like, it should be okay, right? Anyway, that's to come. I will say, though, in terms of new monetization strategies, I think this is dope. I think streaming services and media companies, like whether it's Facebook or Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, this is a time that they should probably start to, offer these little label services where an artist could just fuck a donation. Hey, Spotify, how about you just put a little buy link there? And like, if they don't have any major deal, the money goes to them and you guys take a very small percentage of it. Again, this is going towards those corporations kind of being a little bit more label-esque, okay? But also, I think they realize that, independent artists, they do need income, and they're trying to facilitate that. So I do think this is a good move overall. And by the way, salute to Tory. He's running with that. Quarantine Radio just turned into, what I mean, all type of other things. So
hey, listen, man, and major label artists need it too. I know a lot of them is going through it as well. So I hope that people can really ride this wave if they was going to ever ride a wave and make something out of it, because it's tough out here for everybody.
Don't worry, I'm checking up on foreclosures and repossessions every day. I'm trying to see.
Send me the list, because it's a few artists whose shit I'm trying to buy. So send me the list. Send me the list.
On that note, I guess we'll see you guys here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.
We're done already?